Hello, and welcome to another episode of In Just 1 Minute or So. Ever find yourself lost trying to write user stories for Scrum? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. Today, we'll see how to write clear, actionable user stories by focusing on three parts: the value statement, the assumptions, and the acceptance criteria. We'll use simple examples to show why these are essential. By the end, you'll have the skills to write user stories that bring clarity and purpose to your team. Let's dive in. Alright, so let's get started with the value statement, which sets the purpose of your story. It answers the questions: who is it for? What do you need, or what do they need actually? And why is it important? So here's the formula. As a who, I want what functionality in order to why it's important. Let's break it down with an example. Imagine you're building a dashboard for managers. So who is the user, right? So that is the manager. Instead of writing something vague like end user, you're specific. You say, as a sales manager. Now the what the functionality is. So they want a real-time sales performance tracker. So we focus here on a business goal, not the technical skills. And then the why. Why is it critical? In order to identify underperforming sales regions quickly and improve the team performance. So basically, the full value statement becomes: as a sales manager, I want a real-time sales performance tracker in order to identify underperforming regions quickly and improve the team performance. Also, another tip: avoid restating the what in the why. So for example, I want to log in to access my account. That is wrong. The correct way is I want to access my account to view my task list and meet deadlines, for instance. Let's go now to the section regarding assumptions. So after the value statement, you think about the extra details your team needs to know to build a feature. Now, these details fall under assumptions. So what are they? Well, they cover the constraints, the dependencies, and less important aspect of the feature. So essentially, they provide the rules for building the feature. Let's use another example. So you're creating a notification system. Assumption 1, notifications should refresh every 5 minutes. Assumption 2, they must work on a mobile or desktop. Assumption 3, older notifications will auto-delete after 30 days. So assumptions like these keep the team aligned. They clarify the boundaries of the feature, ensuring that no one gets stuck wondering, should this work on tablets too, for instance? So the key takeaway here is: think of assumptions as the bucket for everything that doesn't fit directly into the value statement, but still impacts the development. And finally, let's move on to acceptance criteria. So the checklist that defines what done looks like. Why is it important? Because you imagine a team that delivers a feature, but the stakeholders say it's not what they wanted. With clear acceptance criteria, this confusion disappears. What makes good acceptance criteria then? Well, first, measurable tests. Criteria that teams can check. For instance, the dashboard should load within 2 seconds, or notifications should display the most recent 5 items. Another criteria could be define success for each scenario. If it's a login feature, specify the user can log in with valid credentials, or the user sees an error message for invalid input. And another criteria is include edge cases or limitations. For instance, the system will lock the account after 3 failed login attempts. So here's an example for a shopping cart feature. Criteria 1, items in the cart must be saved for 48 hours. Criteria 2, the cart must show a subtotal for all selected items. Criteria 3, click and checkout redirects users to the payment screen. With these specifics, developers know exactly what to build and how to test it. And now let's move on to one final tip, which makes your user stories modular. So each story should focus on one functionality. For instance, instead of build a shopping cart and payment system, write separate stories. One is creating a shopping cart and the other one is building the payment system. And don't forget about the definition of done. This is your team's checklist for quality control. It might include required stakeholders' approvals, creating user documentation, and meeting design standards for compliance. All these elements work together to ensure your user stories stay clear and focused. So there you are. User stories aren't just tasks. They are powerful communication tools that connect users, teams, and goals. By mastering the value statement, assumptions, and acceptance criteria, you'll bring clarity, reduce misunderstandings, and help your team build the right things. Alright, if you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.